Hello friends, in this video we will talk about the second part of OpenAI Dev Day. We will focus on specifically about the assistance APIs which OpenAI has created and provided to all the developers to create awesome applications. In these applications, we can use OpenAI capabilities to provide our own documents and use those documents for RAG, basically retrieval augmented generation. So our proprietary information or private information that you have, it can be used by OpenAI for generating the responses. So it's a very awesome feature which OpenAI has released. Let's talk about that and we will see the code and what are the steps involved in that particular process. So stay tuned, we will meet after a short intro. So let's first discuss about what is Assistant API and retrieval, basically the RAG and the code interpreter. So this Assistant APIs are related to APIs through which we can provide our own documents or proprietary information to the ChatGPT, and with ChatGPT can use that particular information in a form of doc or other mediums like videos or audio files. So right now they have a list of supported types of files, but definitely that will grow over a period of time. And ChatGPT in this case will use this information for generating the responses, and this become more useful. Like you can talk to your own documents, you can talk to your own video, you can ask any question on your information. Let's say you are a student and if you have some notes, you can ask questions from that. Or if you are a company and want to do some research from your own documents, then you can ask question through ChatGPT and ChatGPT will retrieve your answers from those particular documents. It's very cool feature. And this particular process of retrieving the information from these documents is called RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So previous to OpenAI, this particular feature during the dev day they have announced. The LangChain is one platform which was providing some framework to develop applications based on this RAG functionality. But now because ChatGPT has introduced this RAG, so it become much easier. Otherwise in LangChain you have to provide your documents and you have to save your own vector in particular vector stores. After that, whenever a search query comes, you have to find what particular chunks of that document are more useful to answer that particular query which you have asked. So it's a whole lot of process and a lot of optimization need to be required. But because of ChatGPT providing all this feature and abstracted out all this work that needs to be done by the developer. Apart from that, ChatGPT has 128k context, which is very good, because now the documents up to 300 pages can be provided in one shot and you can ask and talk to that particular document. So it's really very awesome feature which OpenAI has released. And also you can run some code. So when we say code, either you can ask some mathematical problems or any logical problems which OpenAI ChatGPT will create the code of those particular questions related to logic and maths, and it can execute that code and return you an answer. We will see an example with related to code interpreter. So stay tuned. Let's check what others feature OpenAI has now. This function calling. So function calling was even before. It means before uh, asking a question to the ChatGPT. Now ChatGPT can call some of the API which you can provide, and this API will power your application through some data or through some proprietary information. So the answers can be provided through that particular information which you have. What new has come in OpenAI recently? In the function calling, you can call multiple functions. Before this, ChatGPT is allowed only to call one function at a time, and then a lot of iteration will happen between your application and ChatGPT if it requires multiple APIs to be called. So it's a very powerful feature where in one shot, without iterating multiple times, OpenAI ChatGPT can call all those functions, and they will build all that logic in which particular sequence it has to be called so that the query asked can be answered. Apart from this, a new model of ChatGPT Turbo with Vision has come up. Vision is basically, it can generate some images even. So it can provide an answer which is multimodal, some text and images. So it's a very awesome feature. And then text to speech, where you can ask a question and it can generate the speech, and their audio is very good and very real time use case can be served through this. It's very real audio that has come, and basically in the conference they have talked about one particular use case, and they have talked about they have basically presented one audio which was really the real like person. So it's very awesome. And then definitely this is for uh, private models. Let's say if you have some particular use case and you don't want to use put your data in the open for all the things, so ChatGPT can provide a custom model. You can train your own model with your proprietary information. So this is helpful for big corporates, but as a student I think uh, the normal API is the developer API will be helpful for you to create some product or projects. And definitely this is an awesome, they have lowered the cost about 2x and 3x for some cases, which is very good for normal developers, and the students said that they can create a real like application and form their prototype, and increase definitely the rate limit, so your queries will not be rate limited very soon. You can ask more questions, even double you can ask. So that's a great feature. And this copyright shield, this is awesome because now what the ChatGPT and OpenAI is saying, if there is any legal claim comes, let's say you are creating a project, and from that particular project if some output is generated and somebody claims that it is copyright, then you will not be in trouble. ChatGPT and the OpenAI will take the responsibility, and they will deal with the court cases and all the face all the legal claims, and if required. So that's they're shielding all their users of ChatGPT. And definitely this Whisper 3, and so they have released the Whisper 3 large model and as an open source, and which has a, which they are claiming is very good model with improved performance across different languages, and even this consistency decoder, which is basically an competitor for stable diffusion VA decoder. So this is also gets open sourced. So I think it's a very good and features OpenAI has released. And as a developer, they have provided lot many tools for you so that you can use and leverage this power. So now let's see about the code. So here you can see I have installed OpenAI and I'm using Jupyter plugin in the VS Code. So I'm running this in a Jupyter form, and I have imported all the important libraries and provided the keys and all. By the way, this key is dummy, so it will not work. But yeah, I ran this code through proper keys, and see here how this particular overall workflow will work. You have to create an assistant if you want to, let's say, create your own GPT, uh, providing some proprietary information to solve some particular problems, and your GPT can be hosted and provided in the marketplace, which ChatGPT and OpenAI will provide after some time. So you have to create an assistant, and you have to run this. You have to create one thread. So thread assistant is basically uh, outer box, and for each particular client to talk, you can create a thread. And then once a message has to be provided, so this message basically comes from the user. And here let's say the user is saying, okay, I need to solve a problem equation 3x plus 11 equal to 14. So this is a math problem. It requires some logic to solve that particular problem. So to run this, then you have to create a run object providing the thread ID and assistant ID, and then um, some instruction. So you can see this is in beta. So right now assistant API is in beta. They are not fully released, but yeah, let's see. So we are printing a message, and in the message it has content, what we the question that we have asked. And let's see now what will happen. So this thread will start running, and it will take some time because the computation is going on. So you can run a loop till this particular thread is not completed. So there are various stages that can happen. The thread can be successfully completed and it will return a result, or it can be failed because of some error, whether your if because of some error, it may be because of error in the function which you have provided, or something happened in OpenAI, that particular call failed, or then any server problem. There can be so many problems, and then the status can be expired. Let's say the query is such that it takes a lot of time and the timeout happened, or you can cancel also, the user has cancelled that particular run. So all that can happen. If such one of this condition exists, right, then we can break. Else we are sleeping for some time and trying to print the status, and at last we are retrieving the state and then printing it. So see here, and at last after that the successful is done, then we are fetching all the run steps that it has taken, right, and then we are printing the message at last. So if you see, the first step is queued. So whenever a job is submitted for run, then it will be queued, and based on the availability of worker in the chat GPT, then they will pick one of the job and it will run. And these are the different phases which can go, uh, right. So here we have presented this printed this is the status queued, and then run. We have printed the run, so the run happened and it has some ID and all, right. And then after that we are printing the run steps. So this is the run steps. Now in this run step you can see run step will happen when the things are done. So if you see this particular message here, they have saying the status is completed, and they will provide an answer. It's a very long message, but yeah, the steps called. So you can see it has created a code interpreter, because our query was such that it requires some logical operations. So it used code interpreter, and it has put all the steps. So they are saying, okay, to solve that particular question, they have taken one variable and then use that this equation for solving, then solving this particular equation, and the output is 1, right? So you can solve this particular question, and you can see that output is 1. So this is how the run steps will provide all the steps which has taken place plus the output. So this is how you can create your own chatbot and through an assistant APIs, and you can provide your own logic through either through code interpretation or through function calling or through your own documents. So definitely it will power so many applications now, and as a student you can also create some application and put forward for the world to use it. So I think it's a very awesome thing. And ChatGPT has created one more thing. They will provide revenue sharing if your application, that the chat assistant that you will create, which they are calling a GPT, it become popular and it will be used if helpful for other users, then it will definitely earn some revenue and it will be shared with you. So it's a great time to create new application and try out new ideas. So I hope you have got what OpenAI has released in their features as part of the assistant APIs. And this is the second part of the dev day of OpenAI. And if you have not seen the first part, please take a look. I will put the description in the description about the link of that particular video. So please let me know how you are going to use assistant APIs of OpenAI and what you are trying to build. I'll be more than happy to help you. In case you have any question, please feel free to let me know in that particular comment sections. I'll be definitely reaching out to you to help that and solve your query. So, and if you like this video, please share with your friends. Click on the like button. Subscribe to this channel. That will help and motivate me to create more content like this. With this note, I'll take a leave. This is BK from Manikka signing off.